Do you ever find the quiet in your home feels less like peace and more like a profound emptiness? If you've felt that ache of loneliness, the feeling of being disconnected from the world, know this. That feeling is a signal, not a sentence. And more importantly, there is a clear, manageable path toward rebuilding connection and finding joy again. Today, we are tackling the critical topic of overcoming loneliness and social isolation for seniors living alone. This is a vital conversation as these experiences are primary risk factors for depression and other significant health issues in older adults. Understanding loneliness and social isolation. First, it's useful to distinguish between social isolation and loneliness. Isolation is the objective state of having few social contacts. Loneliness is the subjective, painful feeling that your need for connection isn't being met. You can be surrounded by people and still feel lonely. When you experience chronic loneliness, your brain perceives a persistent threat, triggering a continuous release of the stress hormone cortisol. This chronic stress state can lead to widespread inflammation, weakening your immune system, and increasing the risk for heart disease and high blood pressure. Neurologically, it disrupts mood-regulating neurotransmitters like serotonin and dopamine, which is why loneliness often feels like a persistent low mood and can develop into clinical depression. The statistics are significant. The National Academies of Sciences found that nearly one-fourth of adults aged 65 and older are considered socially isolated. This is a widespread health challenge. It's also critical to bust a common myth that living alone automatically means you are lonely. The quality of your connections matters far more than your living arrangement. Loneliness is not a character flaw. It is a fundamental biological signal, like hunger, telling you a core human need is unmet. Answering that signal is an act of strength. Actionable solutions and strategies. We will now transition to the most important part of our discussion, the actionable strategies you can use to combat loneliness. These are not simple platitudes, but practical techniques grounded in psychological and medical research. Technique number 1, the 5-minute connection challenge. What it is. This is a daily practice of initiating a brief, positive social interaction. The goal is to consistently engage in a small dose of connection, which could be a phone call, a video chat with a grandchild, or a short, friendly conversation with a neighbor or the person at the checkout counter. The emphasis is on consistency over duration, the science behind it. This technique leverages a concept known as social snacking. Research shows that even brief, high-quality social interactions can significantly improve mood and reduce feelings of loneliness. How to do it? Create a connection list. Take a piece of paper and write down the names and phone numbers of 5 to 10 people. They can be family, friends you haven't spoken to in a while, former work colleagues, or members of a club you once belonged to. Schedule the interaction. Treat it like an appointment. Set an alarm on your phone for a specific time each day, for example, 10 a.m., to make your connection call. This act of scheduling makes it a priority. Prepare a simple opening. The pressure of what to say often prevents us from reaching out. Keep it simple. I was just thinking about you and wanted to hear your voice. Or, I have 5 free minutes and wanted to use them to say hello and see how you are. Set a timer. Explicitly commit to just 5 minutes. This makes the task feel manageable and removes the pressure of sustaining a long conversation. If the call naturally goes longer, that's wonderful, but your only obligation is the first 5 minutes. Be present. During that short time, practice active listening. Put down your phone, turn off the television, and give that person your full attention. Ask a question and truly listen to the answer. Why it works. This practice directly combats the inertia of social withdrawal. Loneliness can create a vicious cycle. You feel lonely, so you withdraw, which makes you feel even lonelier. A 5-minute connection is a small, manageable action that breaks this cycle. Beginner's tip. If a phone call feels too intimidating, start with a text message or an email. The goal is to initiate a positive exchange. You could send someone a photo of a flower blooming in your garden or a link to an article you found interesting with a note that says, "This made me think of you." Technique number 2, Engage in a shared interest group. What it is. This involves finding an activity you enjoy and pursuing it in a group setting. This could mean joining a book club, a local gardening society, a walking group, a choir, a painting class, or a bridge club. The activity is the vehicle, the connection is the destination. The science behind it. This strategy is effective because it is built on the principle of shared experience. Meaningful bonds are often formed not through forced conversation, but through working towards or enjoying a common goal. How to do it: conduct an interest inventory. What have you always been curious about? What hobbies did you enjoy in the past that you've let slide? Make a list of possibilities: history, music, crafts, nature, games. Research local opportunities. Your local senior center is an excellent starting point. Also, check the websites for your local library, community college, and parks and recreation department. Many offer classes and clubs specifically for seniors. Choose a low-stakes entry point. Look for a drop-in class, a free introductory lecture, or a group that meets publicly, like a walking club in a park. This allows you to try it out without a major commitment. Adopt a mindset of participation. When you attend, your primary goal is to participate in the activity. Arrive a few minutes early. Ask a question related to the activity. Compliment someone on their work or contribution. These are small bids for connection. Become a familiar face. Consistency is crucial. It can take several visits before you start to feel comfortable and for others to recognize you. Repeated exposure builds familiarity, which is the foundation of trust and friendship. Why it works: engaging in an enjoyable hobby stimulates the release of dopamine, improving your mood and motivation. When this is combined with a group setting, you add the potential for oxytocin release through social bonding. Technique number 3, the power of purposeful volunteering. What it is: volunteering involves dedicating your time and skills to a cause that is meaningful to you. This could be helping at an animal shelter, mentoring a young person, assisting at a local hospital or museum, or contributing to a community garden. The science behind it. Loneliness is often intertwined with a sense of no longer being needed. Volunteering is a powerful antidote because it provides a clear sense of purpose and demonstrates your value to the community. How to do it: connect with your values. What do you care deeply about? Animals, children's literacy, the environment, supporting veterans. Choose a cause that resonates with you personally. Assess your skills and energy. Be realistic. If you have a great deal of energy, a hands-on role might be perfect. If you have mobility challenges, a role that involves making phone calls, knitting, or providing administrative support from home could be a better fit. Find opportunities. Websites like AIRP's Create the Good and Volunteer Match are excellent resources for finding local and even virtual volunteer positions. Start with a defined, short-term commitment. Rather than signing up for an open-ended role, look for a specific event or a project with a clear start and end date. This allows you to experience the organization and the role before making a longer-term commitment. Focus on team roles. When possible, choose a volunteer position that requires you to work with other people. This provides the structured social interaction you are seeking. Why it works. The act of altruism has been shown to activate brain regions associated with pleasure and reward, creating a phenomenon known as the helper's high. Technique number 4, become a lifelong learner. What it is. This is the active practice of engaging your mind by learning something new in a structured environment. This might involve auditing a course at a community college, joining a lecture series at a local library, or signing up for a language or history class online. The science behind it. The brain thrives on novelty and challenge. The process of learning new information or a new skill creates new neural pathways and strengthens existing ones, a concept known as neuroplasticity. How to do it: awaken your curiosity. What have you always wanted to know more about? Roman history? How to identify birds? A new language? Let your curiosity be your guide. Explore accessible education. Many universities and community colleges have programs for seniors that offer free or heavily discounted auditing options. Look for online platforms. Websites like Coursera and edX offer university-level courses, many for free. Platforms like the Great Courses offer engaging video and audio lectures on thousands of topics. Engage with the material and people. Don't just be a passive recipient of information. If you're in a class, ask questions. If you're online, participate in the discussion forums. Share what you're learning with others. Join a study group. If you are taking a class, suggest forming a small study or discussion group. This is a natural, low-pressure way to move from being classmates to becoming friends. Why it works: learning provides a sense of accomplishment and personal growth, which directly combats the feelings of stagnation that can accompany loneliness. Beginner's tip: start by simply watching documentaries on subjects that interest you or listening to educational podcasts. The goal is to get back into the habit of being a curious and active learner. Technique number 5, adopt a living thing to nurture. What it is. This involves taking on the responsibility of caring for another living being. The most common example is adopting a pet, such as a dog or cat, from a shelter. However, if that is not feasible, it can also mean cultivating an indoor herb garden or tending to several houseplants. The science behind it. Caring for a pet is a powerful source of companionship and unconditional affection. The physical act of petting an animal has been shown in numerous studies to lower blood pressure, reduce cortisol, and release oxytocin. How to do it: perform a realistic assessment. Be honest about your physical abilities, finances, and living situation. A high-energy puppy might not be suitable, but an older, calmer cat or dog from a shelter could be a perfect companion. Consider fostering. If you're unsure about the long-term commitment, many shelters have programs where you can foster an animal for a few weeks or months. This is a wonderful way to experience the benefits of pet ownership on a trial basis. Start with plants. If a pet is not an option, go to a local nursery and pick out a few low-maintenance houseplants. The daily ritual of watering, pruning, and checking on them can be very grounding. Establish a care routine. The structure provided by a pet's needs, feeding times, walks, playtime, is a significant benefit. This routine can help structure your entire day and get you out of bed in the morning with a clear purpose. Lean into the connection. Talk to your pet. Talk to your plants. This act of verbalizing your thoughts and feelings, even to a non-human audience, can be surprisingly therapeutic. Why it works. The non-judgmental companionship of a pet can directly alleviate feelings of loneliness. Beginner's tip: if you cannot have a pet in your home, volunteer at a local animal shelter. You can offer to walk dogs or socialize with cats. This provides the animal interaction without the 24/7 responsibility. Technique number 6, the clinical practice of gratitude. What it is. This is a structured exercise in which you intentionally focus on and record things for which you are grateful. This goes beyond a fleeting thought and involves the physical act of writing down each day 3 to 5 specific things that brought you a sense of gratitude. The science behind it. Loneliness and depression often involve a cognitive bias toward the negative. Your brain gets stuck in a loop, scanning for threats, disappointments, and evidence of your isolation. How to do it: use a dedicated journal. Keep a notebook by your bed. This simple act designates this as an important practice. Be specific and sensory. Don't just write, "I'm grateful for my home." Write, "I'm grateful for the way the morning sun came through my kitchen window today." Or, "I'm grateful for the taste of my first cup of coffee and the warmth of the mug in my hands." Specificity is what makes the emotion real. Focus on people. Make an effort to regularly include people in your gratitude list. "I am grateful for the cashier who smiled at me today." Or, "I'm grateful for the 10-minute phone call with my son." This reinforces the positive social interactions you do have. Try a gratitude letter. Once a month, think of someone who has had a positive impact on your life. Write them a detailed letter expressing your gratitude for them. You don't even have to send it. The act of writing it is what provides the benefit. Why it works. Studies using fMRI scans have shown that practicing gratitude activates regions in the brain associated with dopamine release. It has been clinically proven to improve sleep, reduce symptoms of anxiety and depression, and increase feelings of connectedness. Beginner's tip. If you find it hard to come up with things, start with the basics of your own body. I am grateful that my lungs are breathing for me. I am grateful that my heart is beating. I am grateful for my sense of sight that allows me to see the blue sky. Technique number 7. Practice mindful self-compassion. What it is, self-compassion is the practice of treating yourself with the same kindness, care, and concern you would show to a dear friend who is suffering. The science behind it, loneliness is often accompanied by a harsh, critical inner voice that engages in self-blame. There must be something wrong with me. I'm a burden. This internal criticism exacerbates the pain of loneliness. How to do it? Acknowledge the pain. Mindfully, when you feel a wave of loneliness, pause. Instead of fighting it or distracting yourself, gently say to yourself, this is a moment of suffering. This is really hard right now. Naming the emotion without judgment is the first step. Invoke common humanity. Remind yourself, loneliness is a part of being human. I am not alone in feeling this way. Thousands of other people are feeling this same ache right now. This simple phrase breaks the isolating belief that you are the only one. Offer a gesture of self-kindness. Place a hand over your heart or gently cup your face in your hands. The physical touch can be very soothing and releases oxytocin. Then offer yourself some kind words. May I be kind to myself. May I give myself what I need. It's okay. I will get through this. Develop a self-compassion mantra. Create a short phrase you can repeat to yourself during difficult moments, such as, I am doing the best I can, and that is enough. Why it works. Practicing self-compassion helps to regulate your emotional state by soothing the threat response system in your brain. It reduces the production of cortisol and fosters a sense of inner safety and security. Bonus tip, the mind-body connection. Your physical state has a profound impact on your emotional state. Incorporating gentle movement can be a powerful way to alleviate the physiological symptoms of loneliness and depression. Chair yoga, seated cat-cow. Sit on the edge of a chair with your feet flat on the floor. On an inhale, arch your back and look up, pushing your chest forward, cow. On an exhale, round your spine, tuck your chin to your chest and gently pull your navel in, cat. Repeat 5 to 8 times. This helps to gently mobilize the spine and connect your breath to movement. Seated spinal twist. Sit tall in your chair. On an exhale, gently twist your torso to the right, placing your left hand on your right knee and your right hand on the back of the chair. Hold for 3 deep breaths, lengthening your spine on each inhale and gently deepening the twist on each exhale. Repeat on the other side. This can help release tension in the back and aid digestion. Diaphragmatic breathing, belly breathing. Sit comfortably in a chair or lie down. Place one hand on your chest and the other on your belly, just below your rib cage. Breathe in slowly through your nose for a count of 4. As you do, feel the hand on your belly rise while the hand on your chest remains relatively still. Hold the breath for a count of 2. Exhale slowly through your mouth for a count of 6, feeling the hand on your belly gently fall. Repeat this for 5 to 10 cycles. This breathing technique stimulates the vagus nerve, which activates the parasympathetic nervous system, promoting a state of calm and relaxation. Bonus tip, nutrition for a brighter mood. While no diet is a cure for loneliness, the food you eat plays a significant role in supporting brain health and mood regulation. Omega-3 fatty acids, found in fatty fish like salmon, mackerel, and sardines, as well as in walnuts and flax seeds. Omega-3s are crucial components of brain cell membranes and have powerful anti-inflammatory effects. Vitamin D, often called the sunshine vitamin, low levels of vitamin D are linked to a higher risk of depression. You can get it from sun exposure, fortified milk, and fatty fish. B vitamins. Vitamins B12 and B9, folate, are essential for the production of neurotransmitters like serotonin and dopamine. Find them in leafy green vegetables, legumes, eggs, and lean meat. Tryptophan. This amino acid is a precursor to serotonin. Good sources include turkey, nuts, seeds, and oats. A simple mood-supporting meal. Idea: a piece of baked salmon, a side of steamed spinach or broccoli, and a serving of brown rice. This meal provides omega-3s, B vitamins, and complex carbohydrates for sustained energy. Do's and don'ts. As you begin this journey, keep these guiding principles in mind. Do take the first step, no matter how small. The goal is to build momentum. Do be patient and persistent. Building new connections and habits takes time. Do focus on being interested, not just interesting. Ask people questions about themselves and listen to the answers. Do acknowledge and celebrate your courage. It takes real bravery to put yourself out there. Do take care of your physical health. Good sleep, nutrition, and gentle movement are foundational. Do nurture existing relationships. Don't forget the connections you already have while seeking new ones. Don't wait for others to always reach out to you. Be the one to initiate contact. Don't set unrealistic expectations. You don't need to become a social butterfly overnight. Don't take it personally if someone is unavailable. People have busy lives. It's rarely a reflection on you. Don't rely exclusively on technology. Use it as a tool to facilitate real-world connections. Don't use unhelpful coping mechanisms like excessive television, alcohol, or overeating to numb the feeling of loneliness. Don't blame yourself. Loneliness is a circumstance, not a character flaw. Information on professional treatment. If your feelings of loneliness are overwhelming, persistent for months, and significantly impacting your ability to function, seeking professional help is a wise and courageous step. Therapeutic approaches, cognitive behavioral therapy, CBT. A therapist can help you identify, challenge, and reframe the automatic negative thoughts that fuel loneliness, such as, "It's too late for me," or "No one would want to be my friend." Interpersonal therapy, IPT. This therapy focuses specifically on your relationships and social environment, helping you improve your communication skills and build a stronger support network. Group therapy, participating in therapy with a small group of peers who are also struggling with loneliness, can be incredibly validating. It provides a safe, supportive environment to practice social skills and realize you are not alone in your struggles. Medication. If your loneliness is a component of a clinical diagnosis, like major depressive disorder or an anxiety disorder, a doctor may discuss the option of medication. Precautions and potential dangers. It is vital to understand that chronic loneliness is not a benign condition. It carries significant health risks that extend far beyond emotional sadness. Research has definitively linked chronic loneliness and social isolation to a significantly increased risk of premature death from all causes, a risk that may be comparable to smoking, obesity, and physical inactivity. A nearly 30% increased risk of heart disease and stroke, an increased risk for the development of dementia, including Alzheimer's disease, higher rates of depression, anxiety, and suicide. How to make it a sustainable habit. Anchor to an existing routine. Link your new connection habit to something you already do every day. For example, after I finish my breakfast, I will make my 5-minute connection call. Track your efforts, not just results. Keep a simple log. Put a check mark on a calendar for every day you engage in a connection-building activity. Focus on celebrating the consistency of your effort, not on whether you made a new best friend that day. Have a plan for bad days. There will be days when your motivation is low. On those days, lower the bar. You don't have to go to a club meeting, but maybe you can manage a 2-minute phone call or write down one thing you're grateful for. The goal is to maintain the thread of the habit, even if it's just by a single stitch. Share your intentions. Tell one trusted person, "I am working on building more social connections in my life." This accountability can be a powerful motivator. Conclusion. We have covered a comprehensive guide to understanding and overcoming loneliness. We have explored the science behind this painful emotion and detailed 7 practical, actionable techniques, from daily connection challenges to the profound power of self-compassion. If you found this video helpful, please like it and subscribe for more evidence-based wellness content. Please share this video with someone who might need to hear this message. And in the comments below, we would love to know, which of these techniques will you try first? Disclaimer. This video is for educational and informational purposes only. The information we're sharing is designed to support, not replace, the relationship that exists between you and your healthcare provider.